Actually, I saw Christian Klein. I had a chance to talk to him a little bit when I was in Davos last week.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good to see him. Always good to chat. But this is another company that's in a transformational story. SAP is, by far one of the most implemented and deployed software stacks on the planet for companies, ERP, and operationally running their businesses. And of course, they have a lot of diversification in other areas, but best known, of course, for ERP. The company did well. It beat what the street was expecting, and it had a good outlook. And so, it was a mostly positive quarter overall. But the numbers everybody's been watching, the numbers I've been telling people to watch it for the last several quarters have been in the cloud. Is the company growing their cloud revenue? Are they building a cloud backlog? Are they making more profit in the cloud? Are they accelerating their cloud? And then, of course, how are they tying and being able to complement the AI innovation that it's making to winning more customers? The key for SAP is going to be getting their customers to S4, getting their customers running on a clean core so that they can actually build and expand on their business. Now, having said that, probably the most interesting data point of their earnings this quarter was their note that they're going to be making some transitions on personnel. I think there's about 8,000 people affected. I do have to call that out because when I put that out as a tweet and on LinkedIn, I had a lot of people commenting on that. Over the last couple of years, it's been, companies have been looking at technology, looking at how to optimize their businesses. And this is one of those things where behind these conversations, there's always a balance of people and technology. I think 8,000 is not all displaced. It's not all about, I think it's some of them are going to get different roles. They're looking at kind of how to reskill people, how to change roles for people, and some of them be bought out packages. That was very interesting, but not surprising. Having said that, that was a footnote that I think over the next few quarters, you'll see new waves of growth at SAP coming from their AI investments and AI technology. As the company gets their customers over to S4 running on Clean Core, this is going to be where the opportunity comes for the company to expand. It's going to be where their newest and best AI innovation will be visible, not just Joule, their overall business AI strategy. It's the ability to take data, deliver it to insights, do it very quickly. And of course, the company is also very focused on operationalizing and streamlining workflows. This was something I heard a lot on the earnings call. This is something I've heard a lot through the readout, is that SAP end-to-end is becoming more and more capable. And if you are on S4, it's more and more capable to deliver what the enterprise of the future needs. So, Pat, you saw 20% revenue growth in cloud, 25% for the year, and 25% for the quarter. So it's accelerating. You saw the backlog grow from 25 to 25%. You saw the profit grow up 23%. So good numbers overall. The operating profit was down a little bit, something to watch. But like I said, Pat, I think if they can keep accelerating cloud revenue, the company will be in good shape.
Dan, great breakdown. There was so much richness in this. You didn't take all the oxygen out of this room. I mean, on Q4, if you remember years back, the critics, and I was one of them, that SAP really didn't have a cloud strategy. And here we are for the fourth quarter. They had 20% growth. They have a 25% cloud backlog. They have a growth of 20% in cloud revenue, 55% growth on S4 HANA, right? Largest growth in 5 quarters. So accelerating. SAP got a slower start, but man, are they making up for it right now? And it kind of reminds me of Oracle. And SAP doesn't do IaaS. But they do SaaS and PaaS. I really did appreciate the breakout. And I don't know if this is a new breakout or maybe I just was asleep at the wheel, but I appreciated the 19% growth on SaaS and the 42% growth on PaaS services. 2023 net, Dan, they did what they said they would do, and they're being rewarded for that. So what does 24 and 25 mean? Right. So revenue growth is going to come. Their plan is to come from rise with SAP and grow with SAP, expanding right through BTP, flywheel, cross-selling all of their PaaS, SaaS, and software capabilities, generating revenue through business AI. And they talked a lot about strategic M&A partnerships. Interesting, strategic M&A. We could probably spend an entire session on that. And their plan for profitability, right, is, transformation, which is a combination of kind of rebalancing heads. And, I feel awful for anybody who ever gets laid off, but I have to tell you, I've been laid off at most companies. And it always ended up being a much better opportunities. For the record, it was never for performance. I had a business unit shut down at NCR. Alta Vista offered to move me from sunny Southern California to Palo Alto. I said, I'm going to AMD. But and AMD had 3 months of cash left. They needed to get rid of people like me who weren't an engineer or in sales. But anyways, I digress. Profit also driven by cloud ERP. Interesting. Do you hear that? Oracle NetSuite and Fusion. So yeah, and I got to tell you, one thing I really appreciated about what SAP does on its earnings, it seems to be more strategic than, and I don't know if that's because it's a German company and that's what the requirement are, or they just have more wiggle room, where they don't get, whacked by, the German SEC for this, but some really good insights that they brought out.